Hello there guys, it's me, Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 25 of Civilization 5 as Poland. I'm actually quite surprised about what's happened to Austria's capital. It's definitely disappeared and I can't see one anywhere. According to the game, Austria hasn't built a capital. Well, we know that's certainly not true. I actually remember a couple of videos ago during the war seeing the pop-up saying that the Songhai had captured the capital. But then it's completely disappeared and I have no idea why. You shouldn't be able to burn capitals down. Capitals and city-states. That said, I'm fairly certain that Monaco here was also a city-state. So that shouldn't have been able to burn down either. So I'm really confused what's going on there. There's either been some sort of ninja update that I'm not aware of, or there's some sort of glitch or bug that's caused it, or I'm just going completely mad. Now here we go. ASCII is now starting to complete spaceship parts. That's a little bit worrying. We also want to get this guy up here and we'll remove some of the railroad tiles that we don't want, because no point is paying for them. Wilsonia has grown. And you are working what now? That's, yeah, decent a tile as any, I suppose. Can't quite afford to build that spaceship factory down in Krakow. Of course, we do also need the factory itself to finish. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and watch through the video because I'm almost certain that Monaco is a city-state. So that shouldn't have been able to burn down. How strange, I've never witnessed that before. All these years Civilization 5 has been out and all the hundreds of hours I've got playing the game, and it still surprises me every now and then by doing something weird. Krakow has grown. You have moved into... Is that the best tile you've got, really? Kinda guess it is. Fine, alright. Unit needs orders. Yeah, we're just continuing to railroad. On to the next turn. So 10 turns until nanotechnology. We don't. Actually, I think we do have a research agreement. Yeah, we've got one with Sweden. We should still be the tech leader. 68, 67, 67, 65, 70. Yeah, so we are just the tech leader. ASCII is completing SS boosters quite quickly. I don't like the idea of that. And for me to be able to try and get near his capital and do anything to him. His capital's inland. I mean, I could bombard it from the coast, but I couldn't really take it. So we've just got to basically hope that we can race him to completing the spaceship now. I'm trying to remember, there was a game that I played a while back. I think it was one of my first... I don't think it was my Emperor game. I think it might have been my first Immortal game. And I literally... If you remember, if you've watched all my previous series, it was the one where... I should have actually lost because somebody else completed the spaceship before me by 2 turns, but it didn't count for some reason, and I was still able to finish the spaceship myself and win. And I can't remember if that was ASCII or whether it was Morocco, because I think both of them are in the game. I'm a little bit hazy now over what happened, but it almost feels like the same thing is about to happen again. But hopefully, I mean, the boosters you do get quite early on in the grand scheme of things. And now he's at war with the Inca. Now, the Inca are quite weak, so that's probably not really going to slow him down much. But it might, if it slows him down by a couple of turns, it might be good enough. I mean, we've got one booster finishing in 5 turns. Another booster will finish in 11 turns. We'll be able to get a spaceship factory down here very soon. We've actually completed the Pentagon. We've got a great writer. World leader, of course. We vote for ourselves, because why would you ever vote for anybody else? So let's go and do that. Of course, I'm sure. We've finished the Pentagon down here. We already have a factory. We could buy a spaceship factory, but I think we're just going to build one because it's only going to take a few turns. And you need to continue building railroad. Cargo ship. Yeah, we'll just continue going to Agadir. Another cargo ship. You go to Helsinki. there's no point getting tourism at all, so let's just go and pop it for the culture. I say most of the policies that we're getting now are actually a little bit useless because we've got completely the wrong ideology for a science win, which is a big shame. However, there's not an awful lot we can do. I think what I'd like to do here, instead of getting the great engineer, is actually get the great scientist. First of all, it'll be cheaper because we can already get the great scientist, which means we can pop that. Sweden and Morocco have now gone to war with one another. So we're actually, instead of getting a great engineer, getting a great scientist. And the reason I wanted to do that is because what am I going to use the great engineer for? I can't use him to rush spaceship parts. So we've got ourselves a great scientist now. We'll pop him on the next turn. We've already got some other sciences queued up because we've got to go through ecology into telecommunications, mobile tactics and into particle physics. But then we've got all of the techs that we need to be able to get the spaceship, which is very good. No, we don't need to open borders. Don't know why he keeps asking. So apparently we're going to get... I mean, the faith purchase now is ridiculous. 101 turns before we'd have enough faith to buy another great scientist. The game's definitely going to be over by then, one way or another. So, I don't know, purchase a mosque. Won't even have time for that. We will get another great scientist in 14 turns anyway. We can pop you for 8.5k. Let's do that. There we go. We've got nanotechnology. We can actually upgrade that paratrooper to an XCOM squad, so why not? The factory down here in Krakow is going to be finished in one turn, so once that factory is completed... I mean, we don't even really need to build the spaceship factory, because Warsaw's going to be able to start working on the next part in 2 turns anyway. Friendly trade route plundered. Well, it was one that someone was sending to me. It wasn't one of my own, so I don't care too much about that. Come on, city-states. Whatever you're doing, do it quickly. You're just delaying my game now. I wonder if that bug with Austria's capital means that no one could actually win. Because Askia technically controls it, but he doesn't, according to the victory progress. That's really, really weird. So Krakow has now finished the factory. Let's go ahead and just buy the spaceship factory, and then we will queue up the stasis chamber. So we've actually got a few different things that we can build now. We've got the stasis chamber, we've got the cockpit, and we still need to do another booster. So the first booster is going to be completed in, I think, on the next turn. That'll be our first spaceship part. 7 turns we'll get the second booster. Declaration of Friendship has expired with Sweden. Well, I'm not worried about Sweden attacking me, but I think I'd like to keep the Declaration of Friendship if possible. Anything that's going to reduce their chances of attacking me is probably worth it. So let's discuss Declaration of Friendship. Yep, still happy to do it. Okay, so Warsaw's finished the SS booster. Let's go and work on the other SS booster. And you've done that. Let's get you up there and remove that other piece of railroad then that isn't needed. SS booster, let's add you to the spaceship. Okay, there we go. Got our first spaceship part now. So it all comes down to how quickly we can research up to the next tech. Songhai still love me, which I'm really surprised about. So, 1 turn we'll have ecology. Then we could actually build solar plants if we wanted to get a little bit more production in places. So, maybe I will build one somewhere. Try and speed things up a little bit. There we go, we've got that. So we could, for example, just go and build a... where's the solar plant? We don't have a solar plant. Why can't I see solar plant on the list? Maybe I'm going blind. Githionia, cargo ship. You're going to continue to Agadir. We don't get free solar plants anywhere, so why aren't I seeing them on the list? Confused already. That was the wrong button. I actually just wanted to clear what was in the solar plant. Solar plant does require a factory. Oh, must be built on or next to a desert. Ah, I always forget about that part of it. That's fine, I guess. You are going to remove the road. We don't need it. On to the next turn. Who are you at war with? You are at war... I can't even tell who you're at war with. The list is that long off the edge of the screen. I can't see who you're at war with. Don't think we need any more research agreements. Chances are it won't pop by the end of the game anyway. We do have one more to come in 21 turns. We might need it. Not entirely convinced, but we'll see how that goes. Could go and drop a citadel here somewhere and grab that diamond mine, that gem mine, but there really isn't a lot of point in doing it. It'd just annoy Morocco. We've grabbed another trading post there as well. Golden Age ends. That's a shame. 21 turns, we'll get another one though. Actually getting a lot of happiness, which is really nice. I think we'll just put you in there and put you to sleep. There's not really an awful lot you can do. Well, Sonya's finished the spaceship factory, so let's get you working on the cockpit. 18 turns for that. So 13 turns until we get telecommunications. Then we've got 21 turns for mobile tactics. Then we've got 24 turns for particle physics. So it is going to take quite some time to get to that last one. Geneva has been captured by the Songhai. So Sweden are starting to get a little bit wrecked. New unit from Almaty. If you just wouldn't mind moving into there. Come on, game, let me do stuff. Okay, so we've finally finished the monument and the shrine. Let's go ahead and get a library. Everything helps with the science. We'll just give you drill and you can just basically sit there. Got nothing for you to do. Githyonia has grown and you are working... that is not a great tile. Just, I don't know, might as well work the food tile, I suppose. Workers go to sleep and on to the next turn. So the question is now, do I think I can win? I mean, it's obvious that the AI has much better production than I do, but I am beelining towards the one tech that I need to be able to complete the spaceship. By the time I get that tech, all of the other spaceship parts should have been built. So I didn't really need to build all of those spaceship factories and stuff like that. What it's going to come down to is how quickly I can get that tech and how quickly I can build that final part. That is going to be the important thing here. What tiles are we working here? Food tile. We should also be working... well, yeah, it doesn't really matter all that much. Let's go and work some of these tiles that do actually give us science. Because science is good. And in fact, we've got a lot of gold. We could just go ahead and buy the library. So let's buy the library. Let's buy the university. We can't afford to buy the public school. Let's work on a granary. We will be able to buy that public school at some point. Of course, all of this is giving me more science per turn, which is going to mean that we will be able to get telecommunications and the techs we need all the more quickly. We're also 8 turns away from getting another great scientist. ASCII has completed another booster. I think that now means he's got all 3. ASCII... details. There we go. ASCII has got all 3 boosters. I'm the only other person that has any boosters. Not everybody's completed the Apollo project yet. Well, yeah. Everyone else that's still in the game has completed it. So, ASCII is currently in the lead as far as the tech victory goes. But he's only in the lead with the boosters. I'm going to have the second booster on this turn. The third booster's not going to be all that far behind it. You want to continue buying wine off me, that's fine. So we just need to do everything we can now to try and get as much science as possible to beeline for that final tech. That's the important step here. So we might... Well, we'll see what we can do. We've got that... choose production. Right, what have we got here? What do we want to build? I guess we could go and build a nuclear plant. Because it might give us some extra construction later on. Let's go and do it. Unit needs orders. We've got our cargo ship. That is just going to go to Fez. And we've got our booster, which needs to find its way down to Warsaw. It will take it a couple of turns because it's a bit of a distance. I'm just going to sort of power through these turns now. We are sort of coming up right to the end of the game. It's not really going to be... I know for a science win you should aim for about 2/3 of the way through the game. Bear in mind we are playing on epic pace, not standard, so turn 500 would be 2/3. I'm not quite going to hit that, but it'll be close. So we might actually be okay here. I am literally just going to go through and just hit next turn as often as I can, because there isn't really an awful lot else to do. There's our second booster part. Warsaw's going to grow again in 8 more turns, so that'll potentially give us more production here. While we've got a fair bit of money in the bank, is there anything that I can actually build that would give us some more production? Can't afford the nuclear plant, can't even afford the windmill right now. Would only give us +2 production. Might be worth getting it when we can afford it. Gold per turn to Askia has ended. We can adopt another policy. Fantastic. Not really sure that we need any of them. Let's just go and... Just in case we do end up having to purchase any units, I don't think we will. So we'll just save up some money. And we'll try and get some production buildings going. Just so we can speed things up a little. So we are now working on 3 spaceship parts at the same time. There's 1 more spaceship part after that, which we can't actually start until we get the tech. And that's literally all we're waiting on. But 4 turns for a great scientist, 14 turns for a research agreement. We shouldn't be all that far off getting it. So we've got a bit of money now. Let's go back to Warsaw. We would like to build... well, let's buy a windmill. Because a windmill's going to improve our production, even if it's just by a little bit. Krakow to Fez, we'll carry on with that. Maybe I should be min-maxing my trade again, just so we can get enough money to build those buildings, but there's no point rushing too much. So 13 turns, 17 turns. We know it's going to be at least 17 turns. It all depends how quickly we get to the 1 remaining tech, which was, what was it, particle physics. Depends how quickly we can research particle physics with a combination of the great scientist we're going to get and the research agreement. So again, I'm just going to keep going through and hitting next turn. It's probably optimistic of me thinking that we can get through the next 20 turns of gameplay in about 1.5 minutes, which is how long these videos generally run for. It is the last video I'm recording of the week. And as you know, I generally like to record these videos in 5s. Which means that what I'd ideally like to do is complete this game on this video. Because if I can do that, then I don't have to worry about... starting a series midweek, which I don't particularly like doing. Cusco's about to fall. We'll see what happens when he takes Cusco and see if that glitches out as well. We've got another cargo ship here. Let's carry on and go to Fez with that one. And we'll just continue with all the next turning stuff. So 4 turns away from telecommunications. Great scientist in 1 turn. Cusco has been captured by Songhai, so the Inca has lost his capital. Now he's actually puppeted it. He isn't burning it down. So that makes sense. That's what should happen. You can't burn down a capital. There's our great scientist. We are going to pop this guy for 8600 science. So that gives us telecommunications and puts us halfway through mobile tactics. Let's embargo the Inca, because why not? Who cares? So in 17 more turns, we will get another great scientist. That might be... Oh, I think we've recovered their capital. That might be a little too late for it to actually be useful. Because in 10 turns, well, we'll be 2 turns away from mobile tactics, and then we'll get a research agreement, which will probably take us most of the way through particle physics. Inca lost its capital again. If you guys could stop messing around up there, that'd be great. Friendly trade route plundered. Inca have been embargoed. Oh, the world religion has also passed. That doesn't really make a lot of difference to me. Like I said, I don't really have my own religion, and I'm getting the benefits of some other people's religion. You want to go to war with Pachacuti? That's fine. It doesn't really affect me. I'm just going to sit down here now, my little corner of the world, and just sort of happily tinker away building spaceship parts while Morocco move massive numbers of planes from one city to another. I'm still not going to give you open borders. You've been asking me for the last 4,000 years, and my opinion is really not going to change. So, it's already 1901 and we're building a spaceship, so, you know, we're a little bit ahead of history there. 7 turns we'll have another spaceship part built in Githyonia, which is good. Vods has completed the granary. Let's go ahead and... what do we want to get over here? Let's start working on the public school. We won't get it. We won't get anywhere near get it. Wilsonia has grown. You are working a tile with production. Yep, have at it. 10 turns until we get mobile tactics. In those 10 turns, we will have another 2 more spaceship parts. 2 turns after mobile tactics. Actually, no, we'll get mobile tactics slightly before then. Yeah, we'll continue to buy the spot. I don't need them. There again, we are 13 turns away from another golden age, and another golden age would mean better production. So maybe it's actually worth buying some luxury resources just so that I can get the... Yeah, I think I'm going to do that actually. So Warsaw has grown. You probably don't have an awful lot of decent tiles to work, although production tiles are always nice. Let's go and very quickly speak to Morocco. And I would like to buy from you, if I may, your copper. And then that will... Well, it's only not like 1 turn off the golden age, but getting a golden age would be really good for us because it would allow us to get a bit more production. Declaration of friendship with Morocco has expired. I think that's fine. We don't have to worry about those anymore. It's not like we're doing research agreements, which is pretty much the only reason for having a declaration of friendship. And copper's connected for Cape Town, so that makes the city-state happy, which doesn't really affect me all that much. So 8 turns away from mobile tactics. We are still gaining more science. It is creeping up slightly. Oh no, he's coming to me for the declaration of friendship. That's fine. Also remember, of course, that your science per turn is also based on population. So as our cities grow, then we do get more science per turn for doing that. The Songhai want to be friends as well. Yeah, we'll be friends with everybody. Doesn't really make a huge deal of difference. You want to keep buying wine. So again, we've got a lot of money. Doesn't really help us with an awful lot. What are we? 5 turns away from that one. Githyonia has finished the nuclear plant. There isn't really an awful lot else you can build, to be honest. Let's go, and we're not really building great people. There's a lot of places I probably should have put gardens, but just didn't. Yeah, but that's a good production tile. You go on to that. 25 turns until it gets the public school. Not actually, those 4 production from that 1 tile made a significant bit of difference there. Just trying to quickly decide whether or not I'm going to either make this video be a really long feature-length one to get the game finished, or whether or not I should just cut the video and make a final one. The problem is, if I make a final video, it's literally just going to be more of the same doing this. There's another booster from Sweden, which is not ideal. 70, 70, 71, 73. We are still the tech leader, which is nice. I would prefer them stop building spaceship parts, though. Askia's plotting against me. Hardly surprising, really. But can he do anything before the win condition? We've 2 turns and Wilsonia has finished the cockpit. 3 turns and Warsaw has finished another booster. Cape Town has been captured by the Songhai. We will keep buying that aluminium. I don't think we actually need it now, but if we can get it, then we will. Askia's really blobbing out now. But I don't think he's going to be able to keep up in terms of science. Seems a little bit pointless trying to get another research agreement. I think the game will be over before the research agreement can trigger. So we'll just continue sending off these cargo ships. I think it's all going to come down to how many turns it's going to take us to get that last tech. Because going through these turns does take quite some time. And what are we on to now? When's that research agreement going to pop? 3 more turns. We get to choose another production again. We've finished the cockpit. Let's go ahead and get a nuclear plant here. Actually, no, let's not get a nuclear plant. Let's get the stadium. Stadium will give us happiness. Happiness will give us a golden age. We now have the cockpit that can go to Warsaw. We'll add that. Brilliant. So I am going to end this here because I think that it might go on for a little bit longer. So I'll see you guys on the next video where hopefully we will complete this campaign. Whether or not we win or lose is yet to be seen, but I'm quite interested to see the result. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you're still enjoying Civilization 5. I'll see you on the next video, and until then, goodbye for now.